Hi, this is Roger, thanks for dropping by. This is not my proper Sunday chat, it's just a quick video today because Hannah's down. We've just got the geraniums in from outside and hacked them back, so all the growth gets cut off completely and they get stored virtually totally dry for the winter, and then we'll get them going again in the spring and get them outside again. But in here we've got the infundibulum up there. The bud is just starting to open, first one, so we'll have one of those again soon, and the other bud next to it shouldn't be too far behind. There's actually 3 buds up there, I think. Yeah, I think there's 3. And then we've got the buds on this other black hair type there at the top of that cane. They don't show so much because they're green at the moment. They haven't grown big enough to get white yet. But there's those. And then over here we've got tiger tail. We've been looking at the bud progressing. That's just opening now. So down in here, if I can get one to twist round. So that's tiger tail. That's an odontocidium, I believe. So an odont, which is now oncidium anyway, crossed with a true oncidium. So that's coming out, so that's a nice little bud. There isn't anything else that's opening or opened. This plant that I got from Arthur at Burnham's, this is doing well, and there's still another bud to come on here. And over here we've still got another 2 buds to come. So this is going to be in bloom a long time, and the colour of the inside of the lip, it's difficult to describe that. I mean, is that brown or is that orange? It's a browny orange. I'm going to stick with that. The Deesers have now been brought inside. We got frost threatened this week. It's turning real cold. There's some snow around, not down here, but in parts of the country. So they're back in. I'm just about to change the water in there and switch them over to pure RO water now they're inside. One of my Sarracenias has come in because, well, that's the tray it lives in. That won't matter. That'll be okay. And then that nobly over there has got something growing out of the cane. I got a horrible feeling they're going to be kikis again. That plant just loves doing kikis and is reluctant to bloom. So that's that. My dendrobium I got at the RHS Rosemore show from the guy from Taiwan. That's finished blooming now. But that's a nice healthy plant, and these canes are still growing. So we've this has got 3 growing canes on it. So it can't be a winter rester, because irrespective of the fact it probably originated from Taiwan and was grown in Taiwan, that's Northern Hemisphere. So it wouldn't be in active growth if it was a winter rester, and it would be highly unlikely to bloom at this time of year either. So that's that, and then the rest of the video is outside. And there's wind blowing, so the noise on the camera is going to get bigger. Right, and the first thing I wanted to show you is let's do the decking first. We cleared everything out of the way on the decking so that work can begin. And the guy that's building the new conservatory that I've shown you down 2 doors down, I went round and had a chat with him because he was working in the garden, and asked him if he'd think about coming and doing this. And he doesn't do that sort of work anymore, unfortunately. He's got a job in a workshop, so he sort of goes to work 5 days a week like a normal person now, rather than being sort of self-employed and having to get his own work. But having cleared everything off here, we managed to lift a board up yesterday. And the construction is strange because I'll just show you this. If I stand on it, you'll see what I mean. Yeah? But you can see what's happened. If you look at the post, it's got a meta post and an oak post sticking up. and then it had a support joist resting on the top of it, which is rotted off. And these support joists are only 2 by 2. So that's where the weakness is. And again here, you've got one of the oak posts with a joist on top that's completely rotted. So the structure here is very strange. And then there's some sort of support beam in there as well. I mean, obviously I'll get some more boards up now that I've got one up. But there is a problem with the boards, is the decking screws or nails that they've used are enormous. And they're going to be impossible to unscrew. So I'm hoping that all of the places they're screwed into are so rotten that the boards will tear out without damaging the boards. That's my hope. And this whole section up here has just had it. And what's underneath there could be different. But I'm in a position now where when I'm feeling up to that sort of work, I could come out and get a few more boards up. And then the boards have got to be cleaned off. You know, they'll have to be wire brushed and got nice and clean and everything. Somebody said if you want them to look nice again, turn them up the other way. But the ribbed side is to stop you slipping. That's there deliberately. That is supposed to be the top. Anyway, we're in a position where the decking can actually be started now, but this end up here is, you know, it's all falling apart. Let's really add it up there. But if it's taken apart, I can see what needs replacing and what can be reused. That's the idea. And then I'm going to have to fix that hole in the fence, and I'm going to have to do something with the corner of the shed, because there's a hole in there. And you won't like this. You won't like this at all. The rats are getting in here. You've got rat poo all over the floor. Now this shed does actually leak a bit, but where we move some stuff, if you look under there where all my clay pots are, there's some shallow clay pots there. So I think I may have my pots for my peonies all ready without having to go out and buy anything. So we can have a root around in there. But yeah, the rats are getting in here, and you know, so they're getting in that hole in the corner, obviously. So the whole corner's starting to rot. So to do something with that at some point. And this bonsai staging was taken apart and moved, so that's gone now, and that came over here where the staging itself is just put to one side at the moment. The bench is sat there out of the way, and I can still get round the back here to get at my steps, and we just stack the bricks up there. And in theory we're going to use those bricks to edge the planted border. And there's no point in trying to clear the leaves up until the rest of the leaves are down off the tree, which won't be long now. They're all brown, so it won't be long. And then last but not least, we moved the Hannah's Cymbidium. Well, it began with a C. And we moved it over here, and in doing so, a huge flower spike, and another one here. So it's going to bloom with 2 spikes, same as it did last year, because it has put up a lovely new growth. But I don't want it inside, basically. It's all the bonsai had to go somewhere else as well to get them away from there. There's been weeds everywhere. So yeah, the geranium pots will get saved for next year. And this all looks a mess at the moment, but so be it. It's for the winter. I don't come out here much in the winter. But what we're going to do with Hannah's Cymbidium, rather than let it bloom outdoors, I don't really want it in the grow room. So what we thought we'd do is we let the spike develop outside. It's under the table, it's got shelter from the frost, And I mean, the first winter when I had that, it got left outside all winter and it got frozen solid and it still survived. But as the spikes develop and grow, we're going to bring it indoors. And once the spikes are developing, I'm probably going to have it on the dining room table to enjoy the blooms, so that it's not in the conservatory. De-risk it. And yeah, have it on the dining room table, because once the spikes are developing, it doesn't really need the light. So they should still progress and bloom. The only thing that will probably mess it up is it's quite warm in the house, obviously, compared with out here. But the alternative is it lives on the workbench. Now that's what I did last year. Kept it on the workbench, and then when I wanted to use the workbench to water other things, I took it in the lounge, so that it wasn't near any of the other plants. And I haven't made my mind up thoroughly yet, but I might do that again this year. So we get to enjoy the blooms and the plants out here, but it's literally nowhere near any of the other plants and would get watered separately. So that's yet to be decided. So anyway, that's what's going on. This Cymbidium up here, the spikes on this one are pushing their buds out now. This has got a lot of spikes, this one. They're all over the place. So we've got spikes coming up everywhere here. There's 3 inside the plant there, 4, 5, 6, possibly more than 6. Yeah, I can see at least 2 the other side. So it's probably got 8 spikes coming on. And is one of the worst with the scale. And my little showgirl Cymbidium, the spike's pushing on now, showing its buds. So yeah, that's it for today. Not a proper Sunday chat, but something. Oh, and my little Twinkle is coming on. Buds are starting to show a little bit of colour now. It did have 2 spikes, but the other one aborted. I mean, it's a very weak plant. It split into 3 pieces when it came out of the pot. And the other 2 pieces are quite weak, but they've both produced a new growth, so hopefully it will pick up next year. And this one only produced a new growth, but it was big enough to produce a spike. So we'll see how that grows on next year. So yeah, I do believe I've lost that plant up there, which is a shame. That is Kuniko, which is it was a very attractive plant at one point, and it just went downhill. Put it in a pot to try, with the Let's Grow Some Roots media, and it just never recovered. And it pushed out that little Kiki, which has since died. So there's no life showing anywhere on that plant now. So I think that is now lost. But all the others are sort of growing. And I've been reluctant to say about this because it's embarrassing for me, but I'll show you now as part of this. So we're going to end on a note of hope. This orchid here, this Dendrobium, has got a tag on it and it's Signatum. But let me just get this out of the way so that I can put it down. I want to show you something, because in amongst this plant is this cane. This cane is not attached to the plant. It's just a cane. The top of the cane was cut off, the bottom rotted. The plant it came off of rotted and was lost. But this piece of cane has started to grow. And do you know what that is? That is all that's left of my RHS awarded Dendrobium Friedrichsianum. That's all that's left of it. But there is hope. We have roots and we have shoots. So maybe we can start the plant again from scratch. We shall see. But that literally is all that's left of that awarded plant. But I haven't told anybody that because, as I said, it's embarrassing to lose an awarded plant because that plant's unique, with the name Hannah on the end of it, registered. That it is the only one, and that's all that's left of it. But it's not dead, it's not lost. So I have hope. That's all I can do with that piece of cane taken off the top of a rotting plant that's started to grow. We shall see. And I make sure that I pour water on the roots every time I water that mount. But the other plant on there, Signatum, I mean, that's coming on. That's grown a bit this year, so there we go. But, yeah, so that's it for today, and tomorrow is my rest day, and I've got a lot of watering to do tomorrow, and I've got to get the RO unit on because I'm nearly out of water. So I'm just going to change the water in the Deesers now, and then that will do for today, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for dropping by.